then the vibrant and lively Volt City, the Power Crew, an extraordinary group of individuals with special abilities, was wrapping up their regular meeting when they received an unexpected call. The mayor urgently alerted them that some mischievous monsters were causing trouble on the outskirts of the city, comprised of Flare, who controls fire, Wave, who commands water, Vortex, a telekinetic expert, Bolt, who zaps with electricity, and Echo, who manipulates sound. The Power Crew felt a mix of exasperation and excitement. They quickly rushed to the scene, ready to handle whatever the monsters had in store. Upon arrival, they were met with delightful chaos. Goozle, a playful, squishy, slime-like creature, left gooey trails everywhere, sticking unsuspecting passers-by to lampposts. Muffin, a large, furry creature resembling a muffin, rolled around, knocking over trash cans while giggling. Meanwhile, Blunder, a clumsy giant in mismatched socks, kept tripping over himself and tumbling into fountains. It was a mess, but there was something undeniably hilarious about it. The Power Crew sprang into action, using their powers to try and fix the situation, but things didn't go quite as planned. Flare's fire attempted to burn away the goo, but instead, it turned Goozle's slime into a giant bouncing blob, much to the creature's delight. Wave's water didn't subdue Muffin. Instead, it transformed the large, fluffy creature into a surfing champ, riding the waves down the street. Vortex tried to lift Blunder with his telekinesis, but Blunder's weight was too much to control, and the giant just kept falling, creating an even greater mess. Bolt, frustrated, tried to electrify a nearby light pole to restore order, but instead it turned Blunder into a wiggly, dancing giant, and Echo, trying to calm things down with sound manipulation, only made the atmosphere louder and more chaotic, with every sound echoing around the city, making everything even more playful. The team soon realized that brute force and their usual methods weren't gonna work. Rather than trying to stop the monsters, they decided to join in on the fun. Flare challenged Goozle to a goo-dodging contest, while Wave proposed a water splash race with Muffin, who had become an expert at surfing. Vortex offered to teach Blunder how to juggle chairs, and Bolt came up with a dance-off for Blunder, using his electricity to add a spark of excitement. Echo played music to accompany their antics, turning the chaos into a wild musical celebration. The entire street became a playground, with the monsters and the Power Crew laughing and playing together, their roles of hero and villain completely blurred. As the day progressed, the Power Crew realized that the monsters were not bad, just a bit misunderstood and filled with energy. Their antics, while disruptive, weren't meant to harm anyone. They were just looking for fun and attention. The entire city began to laugh along, with people joining in the water splashes, cheering for the dancing, and marveling at the clumsy giant balancing furniture on his head. The atmosphere shifted from chaos to a joyful, carefree party where everyone, monsters and humans alike, enjoyed the unpredictable fun. By the end of the day, as the sun began to set, the monsters realized it was time to return home. Goozle gave one last gooey wave to the Power Crew. Muffin rolled over for a final giggle, and Blunder, though still tripping over his feet, gave a heartfelt bow. "We'll be back," Goozle chimed, his voice full of mischief, "for more fun next time." Exhausted but content, the Power Crew watched as the monsters disappeared into the distance. They had learned something valuable that day, that saving the day didn't always mean stopping the fun. Sometimes it was about embracing the silliness and seeing things from a different perspective. They had helped the monsters channel their energy in a positive way, and in return, they'd made some unexpected friends. Though a bit worn out, the Power Crew couldn't help but grin. They learned that sometimes saving the day isn't just about being serious or using powers to stop mischief. It's about connecting with others, having fun, and finding joy in the unexpected. The day had turned out to be far more than they could have ever anticipated, and as they made their way back to their headquarters, they knew that despite all the chaos, they had made Volt City a little bit brighter. And who knew, perhaps next time, the monsters would have a few more surprises in store. On the following morning, the power crew gathered again at their headquarters to reflect on the wild events of the day before. They had never expected their usual duties of saving Volt City to take such a lighthearted turn. As they sat around the table, still chuckling at the memories, Echo spoke up first. "You know," she said, grinning, "I think we might have discovered a whole new way of doing things. What if we don't always have to fight or stop the chaos? What if we could work with the monsters to create more fun moments like this?" Flair nodded thoughtfully. "I've always been focused on keeping the city safe, but yesterday felt freeing. It was fun, and it didn't harm anyone. Maybe we should find ways to integrate play into our work." The citizens loved it. Wave, who had been sipping tea, put her cup down and smiled. "I think it's a great idea. There's a lot of joy in creating happy memories, not just solving problems. Maybe we can make this a regular thing, a Monster Mischief Day, where the monsters and citizens get together for fun and games." Vortex perked up. "I love that idea, and think about it. Some of those monsters have talents we could use. We could even partner with them for community events. It's all about working together." Bolt, who had been quiet, finally spoke with a grin. "I'm in, and if we're doing Monster Mischief Day, I'll volunteer to host the dance-offs. I think we can create a whole new tradition here in Volt City. Maybe next time, we can bring in more monsters and really shake things up." The power crew was excited by the idea. They spent the next few days planning the first official Monster Mischief Day, reaching out to the monsters and setting up games, competitions, and fun activities. They even created special invitations for everyone. On the day of the event, Volt City was buzzing. People were excited, filling the streets to join in the festivities. The power crew set up booths, with each member bringing their talents to the event. Flair had a fire juggling act, Wave ran a water slide, and Echo created fun sound effects to keep everyone energized. As for the monsters, they were the stars. Goozle led the goo-slinging contest, Muffin rolled around in races with kids, and Blunder became the unofficial mascot of the event, balancing increasingly ridiculous objects on his head. The event was a massive success. Volt City's citizens and the monsters had a blast, and even the mayor, who had initially called the power crew to deal with the chaos, was seen laughing with everyone. As the sun set, the power crew looked at each other with smiles of satisfaction. They had turned a day of chaos into something memorable and fun. As the event wrapped up, Goozle, Muffin, and Blunder gathered with the power crew. "You guys were awesome," Goozle cheered. "We should totally do this again sometime." "We definitely will," Vortex said. "Volt City has never seen anything like this before." Flair added, "Let's make this an annual tradition." The power crew realized that while they had saved the day in the past, this time they had done something even more special. They had brought joy and connection to Volt City, and that, they thought, was the greatest power of all.